Hi guys, so welcome to, this is episode 2, I guess if we're going to call it that, of the ChatGPT solo short film project, for which I shall come up with a snappier name. Yep, next episode. But this particular video is going to be about the set, how I've made it look, how I'm planning it. We'll look at a shot list after I've shown you that. And that's really kind of it at the moment. I'm going to try and keep it to as few videos as possible. So obviously I just laid out the plan in the last one. This one's going to be sort of about the planning various things and how I'm going to work it. And then hopefully the next one is going to be on set actually shooting it. And then the fourth one is going to be me showing you the edit. And then we'll finish off with the fifth one. I'll just show you the film. So this is sort of the admin side of things. This is like, how's it going to look? What's the set design going to be like? Simple. It's not going to be anything special, but simple. But how's it going to look? What have I done with the space? And how am I going to shoot it? What angles and all of that. So I'll put together a shot list as well, so you will see that at the end of this one as well. So here you go. Let's get into it. So I've started using Freeform, which is useful because usually I use Milanote, but Freeform, just like the U2 album, downloaded randomly on my computer the other day. And so here we are, I'm using Freeform. So I've got the script up here, which is useful. So this is just a little bit of reference. Now I've laid out the first thing, my goals, curiosities for it. So firstly, what's my tone? I want to create a sense of loneliness and isolation. How am I going to do that? I'm going to sort of combine, and to be honest, this just sounds like I'm going to do all the things. But I think like lingering wide shots are useful. So sort of really like big depth of field, and sitting the character in the space with a very wide depth of field, so you can just see everything there, and it's sort of he's just sort of really in the space, I think is a useful way to do that. I also think that on these sort of key bits, we'll go in very, very close and create a sense of claustrophobia. If anyone's seen The Darkest Hour, I think that was some really interesting bits where Churchill was made to seem incredibly isolated and incredibly claustrophobic. The screen was incredibly claustrophobic, and he was in like closets on the phone and stuff. And I really thought that was very cool how they made him seem incredibly isolated all movie. So I'll be sort of trying to have a look at how they did that and see if I can recreate it in my own very small way. And then obviously we'll be creative and interesting with inserts that sort of heighten that feeling. Inserts I'm actually not very good at, so we'll figure out how that goes. Lighting, I know it's easy because they're inserts, but like, how do you choose which ones, you know? I'll learn. So lighting, the script says day, I reckon at night, just because I want some cinematic lighting that I want to do through bouncing moonlight off stuff. I think that would look really cool if I could get like a shaft of moonbeam across my face. It would be great if I could pop a light outside and bounce it off the bounce it through the window off a bounce board and then shaft it across my face. That requires quite a lot of rigging stuff up outside, 3 stories up, which I'm not sure if I'm willing to do on my own. This is just some props that I reckon would be useful. And you'll see some of this later. So this is a picture of the attic as is. So if you'll excuse my terrible perspective lines. So the basically this is where I'm going to be sitting. And this is the camera, the yellow arrows are the camera, and the blue arrows the light. So I'm going to have some light coming in through here. That's the window. I want to try and get this pram out of the way. And try and get this light coming in here. And I'm going to try and make this area sort of built up and look a little bit like I'm sitting in something. Again, isolation, claustrophobia. And obviously you can see how shitty it looks at the moment. But yeah, so this is sort of the area that I'm working with and sort of trying to figure out. I've been trying to figure out. I reckon we're going to get the camera, maybe try and do a tracking shot down through here and get it to come around and visit me in the space. So that might be quite an interesting shot. I reckon the bulk of it will be looking down this angle here. So this is where you'll see the majority of stuff. And then we'll see a few interesting things in here, but this obviously you see the most of the set here, so I'm going to look to build sort of this area as the most interesting or set-y part of the set. What we'll call the 180 for this is pretty much this blue line here. I know that's the light, but basically I'm calling the 180 from this bit here all the way across, and that'll sort of feed over sort of into here. So this is the 180 from here across to here. So we'll see everything here, and we'll see everything here and here, and then obviously we'll see this bit here. So that's how it looks now. I'm going to take you upstairs and show you what I've done and how I've made it look, and any sort of notes before I start looking at how to light it and how to make it look cool. Okay, so welcome to the space. See, so this might be quite an interesting shot, like through here. And then around the corner. This is the window that I want to get this out of the way. I'm thinking of starting the shot, like looking at those broken bits there. I think that's kind of cool, out of those trees or something. And it'd be cool if I could get the light coming through here. Now this is the space. So you can see I've done quite a lot to it. I don't want to do too much to it. Let me go to this lens. Here we go. So I don't want to do too much to it because I want it to look like a shit heap, basically. But this rug is kind of cool, and this is going to be the backdrop. We've got some files and stuff down here. That sort of look paper. I'm going to make this bit look a little bit more interesting, I think. And then here, I figured this is kind of an interesting, we've got a whiskey thing going on here, and we can sort of look up, and then there's a picture there. Obviously, I won't have a light attached to myself. So that's kind of that. So the shots we're gonna have, I'm not certain about this angle. I'm gonna go back in, here we go. We're going to come over here quite a lot, probably sort of like that. So I want to try and avoid this advertising down here. I don't even know if they're still in business. But I just like that. I think that's gonna look interesting, and we can color grade that. I do kind of want to get a rug for down there. And I want to clean this end up here, but I quite like, that's quite cool, I think. Well, I'll play, but this is the general idea. I also quite like this being in the shot. And then from the other side, if I'm careful, there we go, we can see sort of into there. I don't really like the skis at the end, but I'm not really sure I feel like I want to carry all the skis around. Maybe something like that, and that's the other angle, like in there. And then I think the bulk of it will be from sort of like here. I want to put a light, like a little, I don't know what you call them, stick light, bedside light, desk light, in here without a lampshade on, and try and give myself a bit of extra light in this corner. The reds and the yellows I think will look quite nice because it'll be like a halogen one, so I think it'll look nice. There's a bit of a yellow, that's red. Maybe that'll be quite a nice little contrast. And then see if I can get some blue. This light that I'm using now, if I can keep coming in through there, I think will be cool. So there you go. So this is the space as it looks now. It's a lot cleaner. But there you go. So let's see what we can do with it. Awesome. So now we've seen the space. what it's going to look like, how it looks now. It'll have a few minor adjustments, but I'll just do that and you'll just see. You get the idea with that, and then by the time it comes to shooting, you'll see what I've done with it. So yeah, so now I'll show you the shot list.
The shot list. So this does say it's only 10 shots. It'll be about 15, but with the I've only got 10 shots supported on Studio Binder. I could have done this on a spreadsheet, which is what I usually do, but I am cheap and I am lazy, and so I've done it on a free software that does it for me, and but only gives me 10 shots. So you know what? When you're doing this, you can do whatever you want to do. So I'll just quickly run you through it. I've got a little establishing shot here on the holes in the window. So we'll sort of establish the space there, and then we'll sort of meander through the space on some handheld stuff. Some of this is subject to change. I'm not sure we'll go with hip level, to be honest. I think we'll go maybe even ground level for that. Then I thought a cool way, this insert of the light getting switched on is probably not going to happen. I thought a cool idea would be for a bird's eye space with no Jim, and then to jump cut. So I'll be sitting on the floor, maybe staring at that picture I showed you, the car, the black and white one in the broken frame, and I'll be sitting there staring at that, and the space will be set up, and then it'll just jump cut to the same shot but with me in it looking at that. I thought that'd be a nice entrance for Jim to highlight some sort of loneliness. You just heard a WhatsApp come through, and if you didn't hear it come through, then I just got a WhatsApp. So these are the inserts. I've chosen some very basic inserts. We'll pick up the photo album. We'll get me reading the album. I'll do it in sort of a medium and then a very close-up as well. And we'll probably get an insert of the page that sort of triggers the main emotion. I think that would be quite good. In fact, I think that's probably essential. I think any of you that know about film are probably thinking, idiot, that's exactly the shot you need. So, whatever. And then I'll have Jim standing up. So I'll sort of stand up and the camera will stay on the floor at my ground level, and the focus will be on the car in the background. I think that might be quite an interesting shot. Just keep my feet in the shot, but to keep the car in focus. And then an interesting challenge that I'm going to set myself up here, because obviously, again, it's just me doing it. I'm going to have me picking up the car, and I'm going to try and tilt the camera. I'm going to try and tilt the camera with one hand and pick up the car with the other hand and keep it in shot as if I'm picking it up. And then we'll cut to me sort of holding it, and I'll pick it up into that frame there. So we'll get... I think it's interesting to try and involve projects, bits of this project that, although it is made with one person, using... Because ideally there would be a bit of camera movement going on. And I'm even thinking that the jump cut, this one here, sitting in the space, we might actually, in post, stick some zoom out on that, or maybe even a zoom in. We might zoom in on that one, and then zoom in later. But anyway, this is the basic idea. So I've written down all the various bits, tracking all of this. It's all static, because I've got a tripod, and I'm doing it myself. But there you go, that's the shot list. And then we'll have at various points, we'll have this voiceover coming over. We'll start the voiceover over the window at the beginning. So it'll be the window, silence, and then whilst the camera's still on the window, we'll hear, I come up here to escape the present, to lose myself in the memories of the past. Dramatic reading, whatever. And then we'll go on an empty shot down, and then we'll go jump cut, Jim's in, he'll pause for a moment, reach over and grab the photo album, so I'm taking a little bit of artistic license, and then he'll sit in silence and look through the photo album for a bit, and then we'll go into this. All of that will probably take no longer than a minute, but maybe even 30 seconds, but I think that that's a nice, interesting, gentle way to enter the story, but to give a lot of backstory in terms of it feels lonely, and I think that's what we need to establish. But there you go, that's my shot list. Boom.
Well, there we go. That's everything for this video sorted. I'm going to go away and start shooting. I'll probably do some lighting tests as well, just to see how it looks on me, how it looks through the software, the app. I'm using Filmic Pro. to shoot. I've been told it's better than the cinematic mode on the iPhone. Certainly in low light it is. I still haven't quite found my love for it. The cinematic mode is too sexy. But definitely Filmic Pro is really good. So I'm going to be using that and try and make that, make my love for it grow with this project. That is my curiosity, one of many. So yeah, I'll be doing that. If you're enjoying the series so far, like, subscribe, do all of that YouTube stuff. And I will get working on the next video of me actually filming the whole thing, and then as I say, you'll see me starting to edit it and grade it and see how that looks in the one after that. So yeah, I hope to see you further down the journey.